Hello, I'm Bob. This is my wife, Ruthie. Last name is Thune. And we were here at this church for quite a few years. One evening I come home for supper. Ruthie's fixing supper and the phone rings. So I grab the phone and I talk for a while. I get done and she said, "Well, who is that?" I said, "A guy named Bill Alford from the Omaha Gospel Tabernacle." She said, "The what?" "The Omaha Gospel Tabernacle." "Well, what did he want?" "Well, they're looking for a pastor." So that's how it all got started.
It was a big change for us,
Yeah.
big change for our family. We had 2 boys at that time. They were 6 and 8. But we felt warmly received by the people here. I mean, the people here are just amazing people, and they loved us well.
When we arrived, the worship center was in place, and it was stunning, a stunning building. But we started having conversations among the leadership as to, okay, what do we do going forward? The first thing we needed to do is pay off the debt on this building. The church owed $1.5 million on this building, so we committed all that to the Lord, and He was gracious and good and helped us. And most months we were able to make 2 payments, and so we retired the debt on this building, the worship center, and we made a commitment at that point in time that any building we did in the future we'd do on a cash basis. Well, it was pretty obvious that the need as far as facility at that point would be education space. So we began to work on the education center, and it turned out to be about a $3 or $3.5 million project, and we raised the money ahead of time and constructed the education center. That was the Family Life Center, yeah. And then time passed, and there was need for an additional space, and so we went to the education center. It cost I think about $3.5 million to do that. And then the next thing was the atrium was added. That was I think around about $2 million. So gradually, step by step, we got to the place where we are now. There are a lot of people that are really concerned about putting all this money into facility, and what about missions? What about a commitment to missions? So we had a heart to kind of make it even. Whatever we'd put in the facility, we would also add to the missions budget, and God was good, and we were able to pretty well do that. And along with that, missions at the local level, we developed evangelism under the Evangelism Explosion rubric, and it was Tom Stebbins that led the way on that. So we were sending teams out on a weekly basis, following up on people who had visited the church with the hope of sharing the gospel if they hadn't yet believed in Jesus. And so all that kind of tied together, missions at the local level, what we usually use the term evangelism, and then missions way beyond.
And I think that was just part of the DNA of this church. I think Pastor R.R. Brown began that, and when we came here, it just was a matter of continuing to build that, and it's been exciting to see it continue to be of value.
When we came here, the name of the church was Omaha Gospel Tabernacle. We just thought that it sounded a little bit, what would be a good word, archaic,
People tended to think of Mormons when they heard the word tabernacle.
Yeah, that's right. I'm glad you said
Yes.
that, because we got two kinds of responses. Some thought we were Mormon, some thought we were Jewish
Yes.
because of the name.
Yeah.
There were some people in the church, of course, that were quite adamantly opposed, because this is my Gospel Tabernacle. What are you talking about, So anyway, we came to the vote, and we lost by a few percentage points. Didn't quite, make it. So I forget how much time passed, but then we finally concluded that it would be okay to approach it again and give the rationale. The second time around, it passed by a large margin, and I think it's served the church pretty well. When I look back on my life now, I just marvel at how it all came about. I'm out there in Huntington Beach, 1,500 miles away from here, in a totally different setting, and I didn't know about Omaha Gospel Tabernacle. I'd never met Bill Elford. The whole thing is pretty amazing to me, and it was a really tough decision to go when we left.
It was. What a blessing to have been here for 22 years and to share life together.